Hey, everybody. How you living? How you doing? How's it feel? We give it just a moment to get everybody in here. I know you guys have been excited and waiting for this for a long time. I appreciate your patience. It is much appreciated. We are going to talk about some stuff that is awesome. Let's change this banner now that it is no longer relevant. All right. Make sure you follow the channel, hit the like on the video, help the YouTube algorithm stop owning us so we can actually reach more people. There's a lot of bad information going around. We want to try to get some better information going. So, how you guys doing? Let me hear about it. How y'all doing? Tell me how you doing. Who in here is in the Discord in our private equity channel? If you don't mind popping a comment on there. Just want to know who's here, who's watching, who's tender, who's crisp, ready to go. Whoo! So, well, let's just get started. Who's here is going to be here, and who's not here is going to watch it later. So, this is interesting. This opportunity kind of fell in our lap. It excites me very much so. He's always heard the tale of private equity. I've heard such a tale. Friend of mine does this professionally. He raises like big boy money though. He's raising like billions with a B, billions, and basically, what his job is to find good investment opportunities, companies that are private that intend to go public, or the idea is just so great they believe that the general public would adopt it and it would become massive. So his whole job is really just raising money for these companies. So he likes to go to your BlackRocks and your other investment firms and just basically give them pitch deck, explain to them the opportunity, show them, the market usage, why it's beneficial, how much could be made. And then these companies decide whether or not they're going to basically fund this venture. That's what the initial raises do is they raise capital so that the company can grow and expand and do all this cool stuff so that they can inevitably either be acquired by a company that already exists and is public, or IPO themselves. So a couple of notable IPOs that you may have heard of, the whole SPAC thing that went on for a very long time. You can look at that as kind of like a hybrid IPO. It's an acquisition rather than taking the public company public. They take the shell corp public, blank check company, and then that merges with the company of value that everyone's interested in. Lucid Motors was one. So a bunch of great companies have gone public. You got one of our better trades, the PLTR IPO. We traded that very well. Learned that around $10. That traded up to 30 something and change. It's holding steady in the low 20s now. But the real benefit here, guys, is that this is how the rich kind of like grow their money. They exchange it and they pass it back and forth, and then it becomes a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier, a little bit nicer, and then they cash out the investment. So what they do is they'll get in on the initial seed round, right? So this one, hypothetically, for example, let's talk straight dollars and cents. I will be releasing a full pitch deck in PDF. We're just ironing out a couple of the fine details on this deal we're working on right now. If you're in the Discord, you have access to this deal. If you're not, you don't. Sorry. But basically, the deal is their first round that they raised was at a 50-cent valuation. So each share was worth 50 cents, right? So say they raised $50 million. They're saying the company is now worth $25 million in plus whatever assets they have on the balance sheet, assets or liabilities. So it could be less. But they did that raise at 50 cents. Now we're in round two of this offering, okay? We're in on the second round, number two. They have raised and they've reevaluated the market cap of the company and determined that with the cash infusion they've received, this company is now worth $1 per share. So those investors that get in on that very first round at 50 cents a share just yielded a 100% return on investment overnight. Not overnight, but you get what I'm saying. Ridiculous, right? It's not ridiculous. It's not at all. It's how this works. Nature of the game. We're just starting to learn here, guys, how some of the wealthier individuals that are on this planet, this is how they maintain it. This is how they grow it. This is how they become a part of companies before they are something big. I mean, you have to have an eye for it. You have to know the markets and understand that this could be big or this is garbage. We have to know that stuff, and we've done our due diligence on this one. It looks like a winner. All things point to it being a winner. The management and executive team is bar none. The initial funding round went quickly. That's why they're quickly on a new round of funding. But the beauty is hypothetically, wink, wink, hypothetically, I think they're going to reevaluate to $2 a share. So we fill this round up, guys. We fill this round up. We fund the company's ventures. They reevaluate to $2 a share. We get that 100% return on investment. And their big money early round investors will have then, 3-4x return, 4x return, 4x, not 4x. They'll have 400% return on their initial investment. That's a good deal. Now, just to disclaim, we're not saying put your life savings. We treat it the same way as we do any investment opportunity, right? We want to diversify and allocate properly so that we're not taking on too much risk in any one way, shape, or form. That being said, this $1 share price that we're receiving once this offering has filled, which I believe the cap is 75 mil. And most of the time, here's kind of the way it works. Say we filled up personally as our group like 10 mil. Just hype, that would be great. That would be awesome. That would be ballers mansion type stuff. If we were able to do that, then more often than not, family offices and other investment firms see that money is flowing in and that the opportunity is valid, that they've been able to raise funds, and they fill the rest of the offering. And they could also decide midstream to just cut it off, hurts, but whatever. No, they could decide midstream to reevaluate at $2 a share. The executives that we've spoken with are pretty ecstatic about it, and they believe that a realistic threshold that we could expect, a realistic range that we could expect for this IPO when this company does go public in roughly 30 to 36 months. From what I've been hearing, from what they've been sharing with us directly, is that they'd like to go public around anywhere over $6 to $7 a share. On the high end, $10 a share. You do the math. So we get in at $1 per share, right? And this company goes public at $10 per share. $10x return, easy money. Now, don't go into it expecting that, but realistically, if they do 2-3 more cash raises, and they reevaluate after each raise, we could be looking at 3-4 times investment. Now it'll be locked up for 36 months or so, but who wouldn't want a couple 100% return on money that you employ over 2-3 years? The S&P is not going to beat that. You might be able to beat it actively swing trading and day trading, but that takes a lot of effort. This is just set it and forget it. That's why I'm interested personally. And I like the space they're in. They're in the telehealth space, without saying too much. And as you know, I'm a big supporter of Teladoc and Amwell and some of the other companies that are doing digital healthcare, which is, in my opinion, we're already here. It is the future. Would have made sense in the past. It makes sense now, and it will make sense in the future. So it's a good investment opportunity. It's a good way to look at it. And I'm just beyond excited about it. We're kind of ironing out final details now. We had a great phone call with everybody yesterday. I have another phone call scheduled today with them, just kind of discuss final touches, any type of information they think I should know that we will be sharing with all of our people. I'm just excited. I mean, this is our entry. This is our foray into a new path, as Pookie said, to diversification, where we're not just in publicly traded companies. We're getting in on the private side before they go public, to where we have early access. I mean, in all honesty, look at how much this group's grown, right? Penny Boys itself. Just imagine if you could have put like a when we first started and it was nothing. Imagine if you could put I'm going to buy, we weren't doing this obviously, but I want to buy half of the group. The group has grown exponentially since we started. Great return on investment. Say we go public. Who knows? But that's not what this is about. This is about opportunity and making sure that we, as just regular folks, get access to that opportunity. And it is only through a few relationships that kind of happen by chance that I'm very fortunate to have, that have afforded this opportunity to us, which is awesome. And I'm just beyond excited. I just wanted to get on here and kind of explain to you guys some of the things I was looking forward to. And again, we're ironing out final details. Just because there's a lot of liability involved. Our lawyer has to make sure everything's clean, clear, and crisp, since we will, in essence, be representing the company in attempting to help raise these funds. And also, personally, me, I've talked to some of our other analysts, and they're also interested, but I don't want to speak for them. I will personally be investing in this opportunity myself. I think it's a great deal. I can lock the money up. Again, some of the prerequisites are I would recommend that anywhere you, so we're set, I guess the cap is being set very low so that everyone has access. That was kind of the point of getting started. Just because like regular people, if you have $1,000 account, you typically wouldn't have access to this kind of opportunity. So what we wanted to do was open it up so that, a $200-300 investment that maybe you could make would make sense, and that we'd be able to accept it. The company would, and to raise the money, which is exciting because, most of the time you have to have a minimum of like 20, 25, 50 grand just to get even talk to about this stuff. And more often than not, that's not even enough. So this is going to be very exciting, guys. Even if you're buying 10 shares, I recommend you participate just to get some diversification going and just to get access and insight into a new way to invest your money. I mean, we're going to hopefully be getting more of these opportunities as they come about. We've been very judicious in the ones that we accept. We've turned down 4 so far. It's the first one that we even took to this stage. None even really got past the initial stage. I just kind of was done with it before it started because I just didn't like the play. I didn't like the opportunity. I didn't like the sector. I didn't like the space. I just didn't like much about it. The company didn't seem all that interesting to me or valuable. And that's like the number one thing is like it has to be a valuable opportunity, because if we buy stuff that's undervalued and we sell it when it's overvalued, that's the point. So I'll be releasing more details as I have them. Again, this is a kind of a big deal. So legally we need to be covered, and everything needs to be ironclad and set. So basically our lawyer has to take it, get it back to them. Their lawyer looks over it, sends back revisions. Our lawyer gives it to us. Then we tell him. Then he accepts or denies or revises, sends back. They bring it to them. Then they bring it back to the lawyer. It's a whole thing. So just please be patient if you can. Keep the money ready and accessible. Another very cool aspect to this, you can use crypto. That's awesome. So I believe it's a 4 or 5 day wait if you ACH the money. It is a 10-day wait. 4 or 5 day if you use a credit card. 10 days if you ACH through your bank. Like an ACH is kind of like a wire, but doesn't cost you anything. And then the third option is crypto. You can actually use crypto, Bitcoin. I don't know about Ethereum, but I know for certain you could use Bitcoin. You can actually invest Bitcoin. And I don't know for certain yet if there's also going to be a conversion fee. I'm hoping there's not. But if there is, I'm sure it'll be minimal. But either way, this is awesome because you can essentially take Bitcoin. You don't want to exchange for US dollars and take that tax. Remember, like Coinbase, for example, does report to the IRS. And I'm sure that all the rest of these other crypto exchanges are starting to fall in line. They're going to comply. And so you would be able to, and again, I'm not an accountant. I'm not a lawyer. So talk to your own accountant or lawyer before doing any of this. But in theory, I feel like you could take Bitcoin that you have significant gain on, right? Because you bought it, exchanged for it when it was lower, and move that into the private equity investment and maybe carry that capital gains advantage of 1 year hold. That would be pretty cool. Without having to realize any of those gains. That would actually be really awesome, and I got to look into that. But anyway, I just wanted to share briefly with you guys what it was about and just kind of what we were expecting in the timeline and such. Before anything is done, guys, I'm going to put out a full pitch deck in PDF, like all the information on the company. Then we're going to get together on a group call, discuss it, answer any questions that we can. Ideally, I'd like to even get the executives in on it, and I think more than likely we can do that. I'll discuss that with them today. But we're not going into any of this blind. This is just the preface. This is the precursor. I'm just kind of sharing some information about it as a general idea. And then we will inevitably get into the nitty gritty of the company before you decide if it's an opportunity that you even want to take advantage of. So I'll be releasing all that as soon as our whole deal's ironed out. And my lawyer says, yes, you're good to go. Share information on the company. You're covered. Everything is gravy. Everyone's happy. We'll put all the information out there. We'll get a full pitch deck that explains everything, the company financials, products offered, their websites, all of their media, everything about them, so that you can take a further look into it and make sure it's the right fit for you, pass it on to your advisor, what have you. So I'm very excited, guys. I hope you are too. I just wanted to share that with you, give you a quick update. That's it. Bienvenidos. I love you all.